You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Monday, April 15th, 2024. We are here. We do not miss. If you do not know who I am your host of the show. I am Tech Coach Ralph. This is the Coffee and Kata Morning Show, where we are going to be reviewing some news, and we are going to be getting into our Flutter development, building the time cost calculator. We are going to be continuing to write our widget test as we push forward, what we do. So, that being said, this quick announcement. So, believe it or not, today, April 15th, is my birthday, turning 40 today. So, that is what's going on. And I'm just gonna give myself a round of applause for making it to 40 years, 4 decades. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into our news stories. I'm still figuring out the software, still trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this clock, but I actually need to have this timer go off, and I need to stop it before it drives me crazy. Let's see, how can I do that? All right, so let's get into the show. Let me get this timer off. I was playing with some of this stuff earlier this morning, but we're not there yet. We are not there, right? All right, so let's go over into and I think we'll put the timer on for this one. Let's go with 5 minutes. And let's get the show on the road. All right, so let's get started with our numbers to watch for this week. We have retail sales and the housing market take center stage this week as investors continue to digest a shift in expectations from borrowing costs. Reports of faster inflation and a robust labor market in recent weeks have pushed back bets on when the Federal Reserve is likely to begin lowering interest rates, which stands at a 23-year high. Yes, interest rates are at a 23-year high. Rates remaining higher for longer would maintain pressure on home sales and could eventually weigh on consumer spending. And honestly, it should already be weighing on consumer spending. We need to stop fumbling the bag. All right. So, upcoming release schedule Monday, April 15th. Today, the U.S. Commerce Department will release its retail sales report for March, which tracks demands for finished goods such as food, clothing, and furniture in stores and online. Then we have Thursday, April 18th. The U.S. Department of Labor will release initial jobless claims for the previous week. The report, a proxy for layoffs, tracks the number of people filing for unemployment benefits. The National Association of Realtors will also release its monthly report measuring the number of existing homes sold in March. So those are our numbers to watch for this week. Let's see how that goes. Let's jump into our next one, which says U.S. faces record drug shortage. It's not a new problem, but there is a record number of drug shortages in the U.S. with more than 300 medicines in short supply, according to the Wall Street Journal. The list includes the popular weight loss drug Ozempic and an antibiotic amoxicillin for children, chemotherapy medications, and allergy treatment epinephrine. I don't know. That's too many syllables for me. Sorry. Per the University of Utah Drug Information Service. The majority of these shortages are being blamed on a broken pharmaceutical supply chain caused by fewer U.S. manufacturers making cheaper generic drugs amid scarce profits. Some drugs are made offshore in countries with cheaper labor like India, but any production problem can cause shortages. One possible solution: increase generic medicine prices to boost sales, which in turn can help manufacturers promote more drug production per policymakers and researchers. So the solution is increase generic medicine prices to boost sales. So make more. Okay. That's interesting to see. All right, let's jump over to our next one. Teachers lag on parental leave. Only 18% of major U.S. school districts offer some form of paid parental leave. The Wall Street Journal reports, citing National Council on Teacher Quality data. And even then, new parents often get less than 6 weeks, and they might have to deplete their sick time or be partially paid. Change is happening a bit slowly. Last year, Tennessee, Oklahoma, and South Carolina passed laws granting teachers 6 weeks of paid maternity leave, joining only a handful of states that already offer the benefit. So you're telling me teachers don't get paid leave? I don't know. This is interesting, kind of confusing. Yeah. A proposed California law would extend paid maternity leave to 14 weeks for school districts and community colleges. Major city school districts offering educators paid parental leave include Chicago, Washington, D.C., and New York City, notes Education Week. So that's interesting. I didn't know that teachers didn't get paid leave, and most teachers are government employees anyway. So that's interesting. You would think if the government is always pushing for this kind of that companies would provide this kind of benefit, that they would also be the one. They would lead by example. But you know how that goes. All right. Next up, small colleges struggle financially. Small colleges and universities across America are facing lower enrollment, higher operating costs, and lackluster fundraising, leading some to cut programs and staff, merge with other schools, or even close their doors. The trend is threatening access to higher education, especially for marginalized groups, and shrinking the pool of college graduates for companies looking to hire. Colleges and universities have been in a catch-up period the past several years, but the continued effects of the pandemic and the expiration of federal funding have left some unable to recover. All right, and let's jump into our last one for today. Tesla cutting 10% of its workforce. Now that's unfortunate. Tesla will cut more than 10% of its global headcount, or as many as 14,000 employees, according to a staff email seen by Bloomberg. In the note, CEO Elon Musk writes that the duplication of roles and the need to cut costs are driving the layoffs. The automaker had nearly doubled its headcount over the last 3 years as it ramped up production at several plants, but last month posted its first quarterly decline in deliveries in 4 months. Tesla shares have plummeted 31% this year, putting it among the worst performers in the S&P 500. Wow. Wow, that sucks. And we don't have time to read this. Oh, let's read it. Is the Cybertruck killing Tesla? Tesla's only product launch in the last 6 years has been used up tremendous resources and is still not ready for prime time. The Cybertruck is struggling to sell to ardent fans at its current price. Tesla's future is tied to robo taxis that may or may not be put into service this decade. With Chinese competition on the rise, Tesla has a million reasons to be concerned. Elon Musk is just one of them all. Well, that wasn't worth reading. Anyways, no Elon Musk slander here. Okay, let's go back to our full screen. All right, so we are going to get into our Flutter development. Let me just make this change real quick because this thing is annoying me. Hold on. And we're gonna do. All right, there we go. Now we don't have to deal with this. And perfect. Okay, so we are gonna go over into Android Studio. And what time is it? 8:15. Let's go over here and let's put a timer on for. We shall do a timer for 25 minutes. All right, let's get it started. Cool. All right, so where we left off last time, we were doing our calculations and we got. So in our test, so right now I have it up and running on the emulator. When we enter, so it's funny. I was on Technique Tips channel this morning, in the chat, and I was telling him about the time cost calculator. Very like just about the formula, but let's see. But for those who haven't seen it, when you put in your however much you bring in annually, not like just in total. So let's say you bring in 1 million, it's going to give you a calculation of $114 per hour. So the formula is the total amount of hours in the year divided by, or how much you bring in annually divided by the total hours in a year, which is like 8,760. And it breaks down an hour of your time, the worth of an hour of your time. And then I just also break it down to the minute and to the second. So and then when you scroll down over here, then you can start putting in like if you're going to do a particular activity, the total amount of hours you spend on that activity. Let's say you spend 10 hours. If you're making $1 million a year, it would cost you about $1,000 of your hour of your time of your out to do that. 1,000, about 1,100. And then let's say now for this activity, it also costs you like $500 to do it. Scroll down, and however, you actually made money doing this thing, right? So let's say, I don't know, whatever it is, you made $10,000 off of it. 1.0. That means you would have made $8,358 based on that time investment. So it's just a calculation. Nothing, but it gives you a lot of visibility into how you spend your time and being able to use your time wisely. Now, with that being said, what we were working on, and the funny thing is, we have built this, you know, s- I built the initial version of it like over a few days when I was starting to learn Flutter. But what happens is in the morning show, now it's like I have it on going to a few other platforms, but we have been, building out our test for it, our widget test. We've been adding some more features. So the feature that we just finished adding that we're actually writing our test for is, let's say you want to clear this field. Now this is going to reset. This goes to 0. And what we were making sure is that our calculation was correct. And now if we go back and we enter, let's say we spend 5 hours on it now. Now this does the necessary adjustments as well. And then now if we were to, and what we're still writing the test for, like if we clear this field right here, now this makes the necessary adjustments as well. And if we clear this field, it makes the necessary adjustments. And if we clear this field, so this should stay at 5, but this should go back to 0. Right? So that's the functionality that we put in this past week or last week. And now we want to actually be able to we actually want to be able to continue writing some tests for it. So let's see, where are we? So let's go all the way down to the bottom. That's where our tests are. And we can see what we did. This was our last test. And we have, let's see what we got going on. We got Pluto in the building. Pluto says, good morning. Good morning to you as well, Pluto. How are you doing this morning? Happy to have you here as always. And we have Pluto says, tech gang gang. That's what I'm talking about. Like we get to it. And how sophisticated you want to get into this. Um, I don't know. It's just, I mean, I build stuff for myself because I want the resources, and then whoever else finds use for it. But I do have some ideas on the backlog on some additional features that we can add to it. But if you have any ideas, any thoughts, by all means, let me know, and we'll make it happen. So, but yeah, it gets early for learning and getting better at everything. And I got my guy in the building, Operation Tech Takeover. Good morning, bro. How is it going? How you doing? All right. Uh, and yeah, there you go. 7 people watching. Get the likes up, please, 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 please. Get the likes up. And we got, oh my goodness, like it's a party over here. So we have Darcel saying good morning. Good morning to you as well, Darcel. How are you doing? And all right, gotta stop the show real quick. Gotta stop the show. We have Tech Bag Tray in the building. What up, family? What's up? What's up? Love the stream this morning with you and Joseph. That was awesome. Great insight, and always appreciate you guys. So awesome stuff. All right, all right, all right. Let's and oh, so Pluto is saying my only thought is adding a tax calculation so it shows pre-tax, post-tax depending on the state. Um, that's possible. Uh, it's a little different calculation, but yeah, that is possible though. So, um, but yeah, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But I like the idea, and that can actually be a feature that calculates that as well. But yeah, I like the thought. And so, what's up, Joseph? What's up, Joseph? So here we're at the after party now from the talk that tech show. So this is a calculator I was telling about. I have like a web version of it, but I'm building out the mobile app for it. So it's just you know just put in like however much you bring in like through all your sources of income. Well, I'll go through it real quick because now that Trey and Joseph are here, I got to go through it again, right? So you put in like how much you bring in for the whole year, right? So let's say you bring in let's use Trey's income, right? I'm gonna go for a full million, right? And so it's gonna tell you like it's gonna break down the hour, the minute, the second, and the calculation is based off of not working 40 hours a week, but it is based off of it's based off the total amount of hours in the year. So 8,760. And that way you're able to see like every single hour that you have for the year, what is being allocated to, what is being used for. And and then you can from there, like you can put in like if you're gonna be doing something, who knows what, right? Whatever it is, it's just data. Some people they get it like, oh man, you can't put a value on that. I'm like, of course you can. I can put a value on anything. And if you're doing something for 5 hours, it says, okay, so this thing costs you this much, right? And then if you have any additional expenses to it, let's say it costs you like an additional $1,000 to do it. Now you're at the money spent here. But when it comes to like Joseph and Trey, their time is expensive. So let's say they actually made, making an appearance, a guest appearance, they made like $20,000 off of it, or let's say 21. That means they would have made about $19,000. So that's the concept of the calculator. Very simple app, but very useful, at least to me, at least very useful to me, at least. So that is so that's pretty much what it is, and this is all the code that's going on behind it. Gotta clean it up. Gotta clean it up. But right now we are testing it to make sure that we limit the bugs. Have the I have like a older version of it in test mode in the app stores, but I'm trying to get this new version, like these new features tested and updated so that we can get into the app store so that people get some used to it. I mean, I want to use it. I want to use it at least. So that's what we're working on. All right, that is what we're working on. Right. So let's keep on. Whole time 15 minutes. All right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep. Let's go through these tests. This is the one that we did last time. So, um, and I have all these comments in here. So, activity time cost resets when field is cleared. Activity time. All right. So that one. So this test is testing this, right? And we tested it manually, but manual testing, you can't like just continue living on manual testing because every time there's a change, you're gonna have to test it manually over and over and over again. And we can't have that. Okay, we can't have that. So let's run this real quick. This one should pass because I finished fixing it up last Wednesday. And I gotta get one more day to work on this. Maybe we can. I don't know. It's hard to find more time, but based on our candid conversation coming out today, I'm gonna find more time and we're gonna make it happen. We shall see when. But let me run this one real quick. And the tests are so important to make sure that your application is working correctly, especially like when you find a bug or you find an issue, then you have to write a test. If you don't have a test already existing for it, when you do find the issue, then you definitely have to get that test written so that you can prevent it from coming back in the future. Writing our tests are super super important. All right, and the test is running. And then we have like I don't remember how many tests we have, but we have a whole suite of tests. But I run them like as I write them. I run them one at a time. So now, and why did this fail? So this one failed, and it okay. I remember why this one failed. So it wasn't getting the. It gets all the way down to here or to here, and it's expecting this to be 0, but it's still finding this cost in here. So now the question is it clearing the right one? So activity time costs, and this is being cleared as these are all staying the same. and all right, so 168 here, differ off offset 21. So we got so something that is happening over here where it is keeping. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to throw in another pump and settle. Let's try to throw in another pump and settle over here because if this is actually being cleared, then let's make sure that it's being cleared up in the other one. Yeah, so that should work. But we can try changing this to pump though. Let me see. And I'm still not 100% sure the difference between the pump and settle and the pump, but we just figure it out and do some more research to see when to, because like when do you use which, like when do you use pump, when do you use pump and settle? I know with the pump and settle, you can put some time in between it, but I don't know. There's a lot of learning curves, especially when coming into like a new development type, a new language, a new software. But I'll tell you this: I was looking into doing mobile development on Android like 5 years ago, and couldn't like I wasn't disciplined enough 5 years ago to make it this far. But now, like, and now that we have Flutter and stuff like that, or React Native, and that I've found a strategy to be more disciplined and holding myself accountable by doing this with you in the mornings and at night. I have I found a way to get this far because if I wasn't doing this in the morning, every day with you, then I would probably find something quote unquote better to do. So let's see. All right, so it's still not resetting. That's weird. Hmm, that is so weird. So let's try a pumpkin set over here. Unless, let me see. All right, so activity, time, cost, results, element, text to plain text. So we got the total hours spent on activity is blank. We have the activity time cost is 168.44, which is also correct, but we want it to be 0, 0. But why isn't it resetting though? Cost of activity calculation. Pump needs to go before the element is located in order to change the state. Okay. We have pump and settle up here. Pump and settle down here. So what would happen, which I don't want to do this way, but let's see what would happen if I was to go like change it again over here. If I was to say, let me just, try something crazy real quick and just say put this as 2 and put this as 2. Just want to see if that's gonna at least get the test to pass, and if it does, then there's something weird with the variables and stuff like that. But let's see. Let's run that again. And while we're doing that, let me check the chat. And Pluto said, I used to do study streams. Interesting. Interesting. And Darcel says, "We are happy to be your accountability partners. Appreciate it." Yep. I mean, that's awesome because that's how we push each other to be great. A lot of times we there's so many like all the time people say, "Oh, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this," and then when it comes time to do it, we don't do it. We find all types of excuses and stuff like that. So finding a team, that you can work with that is going to continue to push you towards greatness and to be better, that is the ultimate victory. Oh, what in the world? Oh, wait a second. All right, I got the wrong one. I got the wrong one. Hold on. This is the one that I want. I keep mixing up the two. I might have to. Time cost. Time cost. Let's go here. I think I'm gonna have to change this variable name because I keep getting confused by the two of them. But even so, it's still not fixing the calculation though. I don't know. This one is a weird one because I wonder if I try to scroll through it as well. Let's clear this out. Let's see. At least we know that our tests are actually running. Let's see. Why is it actually okay? So this field was good. So now, okay, so it's happening. All right, so it's happening when see now we're getting further. Okay, so that will actually work. But I wasn't expecting it to do that though. So if we were to that is so weird. I would think that it would oh, you know what? Okay. I think I see what's going on here. So let's say we take this, which is kind of weird that it would do that. But let's say we were to go here and we were to take this pump and settle, and now we just take the var out. So we're not gonna initialize it, but we do that. And then we say this one is going to be like that. So it's just like refinding it at its new value. Like so now when we run this again, I think that's what it, yeah, I think we got it this time. So that's the difference, right? We had to initialize the variable. I don't know. I don't even know the right word to use for it, but it should pass now. There we go. There we go. So everything went through. It was able to validate that the time or the activity cost change and the money spent was also changed. So now that's good. So now the next test that we would write would be, which we can copy the whole thing and then just change some numbers around. But we would say, all right, we already said clearing this. We just did clearing this. Or which one did we just do? So, okay, we want to do if we clear out the additional the additional cost of activity field. If we clear that out, we also want that to be, so if we have it here, we leave the 5, it's going to be like 570. If we clear this out, then this should be different. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just copy this whole test because this whole thing is pretty much the same. And our model and our methodology, after we get it to work, after we get everything to work, then we're going to have a big refactoring session of the tests to make it better. All right. So we drop that in there and put it in the wrong spot. So this is going to be here. I'm just going to copy what's going on here. Take on. I'm just going to copy my entire test. And I'm just going to copy this right here. Bring it to the top of my test. And we're going to go down to total hours spent on activity, user additional cost of activity. And cost of activity calculation. We need one for var activity additional cost results element equals find by key const key. And did we set a key on this? Total hours spent. Yeah, we did. We have one for that one. Where is it? Total amount of hours spent on activity, time spent, cost of activity. Let's see if we can find it in here. Total hours spent. So there goes that one. Cost of activity calculation. All right, so this one right here, test additional cost of activity. And that's going to go here. That's going to be dot evaluate. And we are just about out of time today. So just finish this real quick. Dot widget as rich text. Uh, that's not the right one. I need the form for it. Okay, so we have it up here actually. So So, all right, we need to add the key for this one. And we're going to call that. And let me just take it from another one. Let's drop it in. I will name this activity additional. And what we'll do is in our clear button up here, we're going to put this one instead to clear the additional cost of activity. Clear button. When you tap that, then we should have this one should stay the same. And when you clear, copy that line, and this one is going to be, all right, so that field is not, so this only this field is going to change. We also need to make sure that this field is reset. But it's going to be input additional cost of activity field should be blank. And the money is going to be, let's put in this data real quick just so we can see, because we can finish this up this morning. Let's finish it up. Let's put in the right values. And then the other thing we want to do after we get this done, we have one more test to write for this, but after we get this done, we want to also do a clear all button where we can just reset all the fields. Oops, here. And we're going to say total hours is going to be 14.75. And then we also want to say 1525.77. And then the money made is 2053. And then if we clear out this field, we should get 147.91. That would be 147.91. No, that's not good. down here. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I have to update these again. But let's run this real quick, see what happens, and then we will call it a morning. Activity additional cost activity resets. All right, let's go ahead and run this, and then we'll wrap it up for today. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. In the meantime, Ludo says, "Is there a Discord?" I kind of have one that I like. I don't like. I use it for like testing and stuff like that. But we can make that happen. I don't know. We'll talk about it. We will talk about it. I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up on Discord after it, and we'll see. We shall see. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Running might fail because we're just kind of ad hocing this, but let's see. I think it should be good though because actually no, I think the only one that we didn't do is expected. So that one. Fix that real quick. So if we initialize. We take this one right here and we go to where it failed and we say right in front of it like that. When we run it again, but I think there's got to be a cleaner way to do it. But for the time being, I think we'll be good this way. Which leads me to believe I probably have to like reset these variables instead of the reason they're passing is because they don't change, which I guess says we fine. I don't know. Gotta think about that. This seems like a lot of code though. Here we have very strange. Input total hours. Oh, that's why. I need this one. All right, last one. Last one. We're gonna wrap it up. Gotta get to work. Gotta get to work. But guess what? I'm always working all day long. Even when I'm sleeping, I'm working. All right. I consider sleep as work too because that recharges you to get moving for the next day. And I got to get better on my sleep. I'm gonna strategize. Today I'm gonna be thinking and planning on how to strategize, how to be more efficient. In today's kind of conversation, we're going to be talking about efficiency, how we can get better at everything that we do. But like we just saw, our test passed. So on Wednesday, we have one more test to write. And then we're going to figure out how to do the clear button. And I don't know, maybe I got to think. I might have some time this weekend. We might do some more Flutter work over the weekend. We shall see. Don't hold me to it. I'll let you know. But let's get to full screen. Let's get to full screen. So many things I want to do. Gotta make the time. We make time for what's important to us. All right, let's go. All right, that's it for this morning. That is it for this morning. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on this amazing, amazing Monday morning. I want to thank everyone who showed up. Trey, Joseph, Operation Tech Takeover, Darcel, Pluto, all of you guys, totally amazing. I really, really appreciate you all. And Trey sleep says sleep work is as important as work for sure. Yup. Shout out to that. But on that note, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day and week, and I will see you guys live tomorrow night on Tech Q&A, and we're gonna get it in. Remember, Canon Conversations coming out at noon today. We're just doing a bunch of stuff, all right? We're doing a bunch of stuff, but you guys take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. As I said, this is Tech Coach Ralph, and we are out.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.